Welcome to Insight 9 of A Pilgrim's Guide to Walking Wisdom, and it's about singing a song. A bird doesn't sing because it has an answer. He sings because he has a song. Joan Wash Angland. I believe she was a children's book author and has passed away. Laughter is a balm for the soul. There is nothing more soothing after a long day on the trail than a giggle that turns into a full belly laugh. We laughed and squealed with joy throughout the pilgrimage and found it lightened the heavy load of our packs, expectations, and worn out bodies. There was one particular day. It seemed like the days we rested, and the last chapter was about rest, but the days that we rested, it was always really harder the next day to rev up the engines. And so one day, I mentioned I walked alone a lot, but one day I left the hotel early and another fellow traveler was there, and we ended up walking the whole day together. And I was really glad that I had that support because I don't know if it was a particularly long 11 miles or whatever, and it was flat. And I think they tried to make the trail longer by winding you down through neighborhoods that you could really skip if you wanted. And it was a lot of highway walking, but we started out at the beach in the morning and had a nice coffee and a pastry. I didn't really lose any weight on that trip. I ate a lot of pastries and ate a lot of those sandwiches. But that particular day, the last leg of it was painfully long. It was up a hill. It was along the coast. We had traveled over a lot of highways and even talked to other pilgrims, but it was a long, grueling highway kind of day. And this last leg was up along the coast. We went by a nude beach. That was fun. And then all of a sudden, I found myself bursting into song. But what's crazy was that it wasn't even a song that I had on my mind. It just was, I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. And even where this came from, I will never know. But it wasn't the only time on the walk that song memories came bursting forth. The very last day, as I was getting closer to the Compostela, these old Girl Scout songs came into mind from like when I was a baby camper, 7, 8, and 9, and I didn't even always have all the words, but I had all the tunes. And that day I was walking alone most of the day because I was in a hurry to get there first. Tell you a little bit something about me, because I couldn't beat the faster walker, so I got up earlier and left in the dark. But I was singing my way into town, and so it just is a reminder of this idea of lightening up, having fun, and singing a song. And that's really what that whole section was about. But in our lives, I remember early on in my healing journey that they talked that enlightening up meant enlighten up, enlighten ourselves. And how do we enlighten ourselves? We do that by removing the burdens of our pains and our traumas. And one of the better ways to do that, when in doubt, is to sing. So that's all I have today. And happy to keep sharing these insights with you. And looking forward to more and more walkers joining our journey.